of the map, and on the other side, my favorite hero, the Earth Spirit, is upon us.
Oh, you're going to go for the Earth Spirit. I was going to say perfectly with the Chen pick and CML, we might be able to see it during this startup phase. He's actually got the nice like baboon-looking skin, so it's quite nice fitting with the ape Dota that we're about to see with that all-in push strat. But you are right, we do have our boy KP for TNC Predator. And let's be real, there's always going to be a bit of bias when it comes to KP and the boys.
Oh, look, just a little bit. Not too much. And I should mention, by the way, while we do have a quick pause, of course, the panel did refer to me as My Little Pony. That is completely incorrect, ladies and gentlemen. It does not stand for My Little Pony, so please don't spam me in Twitch chat and Reddit afterwards.
You've made it worse.
Yeah,
I think you've realized you've just made it way worse. If you just avoid it, they might not have realized. They might just think, oh, it's a little inside joke. But now you're going to get MLP equals My Little Pony the entire 18 days we're here at ESL One Thailand.
Mate, I've been casting for, what, 2-3 years? And every single time, there's always one guy in the chat like, does that stand for My Little Pony? It's like, I can't answer this question any further. I'm done. I'll just accept the fact that I probably am going to just be called that for the rest of my life.
Yeah. The big secret is it the same person just throwing you under the bus over and over again?
Perhaps.
Just getting under your nerves, making sure that you're casting agitated. I think it's something to look forward to. We'll have to review the Twitch VOD later.
I'm never agitated, mate. I'm always a happy bloke, especially when we're watching some Dota, and we should be getting back into it very, very soon. Of course, we do have the go-ahead. So TNC versus Adroit. Both the teams can be a little bit inconsistent, if we're completely honest. The panel was kind of favoring the TNC draft a little bit more. But I've got to ask you, who do you favor, just in terms of draft?
In draft alone, all things being equal, I will always take the easy to execute draft over the hard to execute one. So for this TNC Predator, they've got a really easy draft. Survive 25 minutes and the game is very easy. So I have to give it to TNC Predator for that. That's all things being equal. The Lycan could overrun this game very quickly. There is going to be an absolute circus of creeps at the 10 to 15 minute mark with this Chen, with this Lycan Necro book coming through.
That there is. It's going to be a rough one here for TNC. We'll see if they can deal with it. Of course, the banner runes are about to spawn in just about 20 seconds. We will see the side of TNC already setting up for the bottom banner rune, I believe. So they might even just go for the top one and leave the bottom for Adroit. But looks like Gabby might have a go at this. Ben Soy already just sticking around.
Yeah, you might as well for Gabby here. You can't really take enough damage. You can always leap out with the Faceless Void Q. You can always use that Time Walk to reset. But it is risky. If you get the Earth Spirit on top of your head, like you said, your favorite hero, then it becomes really awkward if Boomy starts doing 200-300 damage to your carry.
Yeah, I'd agree. And if Ice Frog's listening, please keep buffing Earth Spirit. He's just not good enough quite yet. You know, there's a bit of room to grow, I think. Still.
You know what it is? I think you blame Jerax for that.
I do.
He absolutely butchered the hero by making it look so good, and no one else can play at that level.
That is very, very true, and there's that, and I'm quite terrible at the game. So, you know, it's either Jerax or me. Still, we're looking at that mid lane. Mel and Mac going to be up against each other. So Mac getting that farm and XP priority into the mid lane, and it shouldn't really be too hard of a matchup for Mac, I assume, up against the Doom. It seems like a pretty even kind of trading lane, and you can't really see anyone dying here.
Yeah, I think this is definitely an AFK farming lane. The problem is, Devour gives you free gold.
True.
So all things are going to be the same for Armel. It's going to be the same for Mac. But he's just going to get that bonus 50 gold, come up to 100, makes it all the way up to 200 per Devour. That is ridiculous for a mid lane that you can't die.
It is quite ridiculous. Of course, looking down at bot lane, you'll see Gabby there. He's up against Ben Soy and Boomy. Boomy already taking quite a bit of damage, and we also see March on the AA. This is one of those, I'd say it's a passive lane, right? Like, you've got the Darkseer ES, but you can't really kill the Void as long as he has Time Walk. And we know with the Darkseer, he's quite passive in the laning phase, right? He just wants to spam his W and just let the creep wave push in every single time.
Yeah, definitely. If there is going to be a kill, it's obviously going to be on this March AA. If there's a mistake to be made here, it's the AA getting caught by Boomy, getting rolled in, getting kicked back, because AA is quite a squishy hero. He has a terrible stun and an absolutely woeful slow in the lane.
It's very, very true. Of course, we'll see Armel just going for a bit of a pull now. I believe he actually devoured a creep from the small camp, if I am correct.
He did indeed. The Chain Lightning coming through as well. A nice little push, so it's going to slow down Mac's push if he decides to go all in on this early tower aggression, which is quite normal for Lycan players.
Okay. Well, Mac will give it a bit to Armel. So Armel just got to control this lane as best as possible. Looking back down to the bot lane, Gabby is farming just fine right now. I mean, you look at the last hit board, he's sitting at 13-1, not really struggling whatsoever, and that's kind of the downfall of the Dark Series. It can't really pressure you too much, especially if you are the Void. And of course, top lane, Poglet, the one we haven't looked at yet. You'll see Tim's there on his signature Mirana up against CML and MCY. And for now, there should be another hero around. It should be KP, but he's just been hiding in the back, and there we are. KP does pop up, and it should be a rather difficult lane, I assume, for the Slark going up against the Venomancer Mirana.
Yeah, I think it is going to be another one of those farming lanes where it just favors one side, but we're going to have to talk about mid lane because these two boys, they want blood. Mac and Armel, they're trying to kill each other under their own towers. They don't care. That's
what I mean. This is why I love these two teams. It doesn't matter what time of the game, what stage of the game it is, they're just going in. And it doesn't matter if they're alone. Expect Boomy, though, to rotate soon, surely, on the ES if they are going to try and make those plays. Like, you'd think he'd just leave Ben Soy here down this bot lane by himself and just let him have that solo XP, because it is such an XP-heavy kind of hero. Of course, CML top lane, copying a lot of damage there from KP and Tim's, but he'll be alright. He'll just go back towards his tower and just passively heal up for now.
Yeah, this is quite an awkward lane as well for this Chen, because you have that extra regen coming through with the Divine Favor, but it's absolutely negated by Venomancer. Poison Sting with that extra degen is so strong against Chen, so annoying to deal with for a hero that usually has 10 to 15 health regen in the lane.
Definitely is. Gabby just... I keep bringing this up. He's received a bit more pressure, I suppose, but he's still just farming fine. And it's going to concern you a little bit in this meta especially, right? Like, the Void just seems so powerful right now. And I realize Adroit, they're probably just following their kind of plan where they'll wait till the 15-20 minute mark and then just start running at you. But surely you want to control this Void a little bit more than they are.
Yeah, it is quite hard to. Obviously, it gets easier and easier with the levels in the Ion Shell.
Right.
But level 1, level 2 Ion Shell, they're not that strong. 24 damage a second is pretty pathetic. You can outlast hit that very comfortably. And level 3 is when it starts to get a bit harder. So look to see Bensoy start to control this lane level 4, level 5. But until then, Gabby's just going to have his way with it.
Fair enough. Of course, looking back to Armel and Mac, Mac going straight into the Necro Book, which is pretty standard for the Lycans. I mean, he's dropped out of favor in terms of the meta as of late, but his build-up never really changes. He always just ends up going for Necro Books, and that is going to allow the game plan of Adroit just to be able to push down towers ASAP as do approach that 5-minute mark. Bounty runes come up. It looks like it's just going to be a very simple 2-for-2 trade.
Yeah, definitely. And just to bring back with that Necro Book, the changes to Necro Book, they've made it better in my eyes for Lycan. Bit worse on towers, bit worse on creeps, but it does that 10-15% more damage to heroes. And Lycan is one of those run at heroes, not run at towers, and then you take with the overwhelming odds of your creeps.
So Armel, right now on that mid lane, just having the time of his life. He's top of the last hits board, and with that Devour, his farm is just going to escalate, and it's one of the reasons why we just keep seeing the Doom popping up over and over again, and I'm quite surprised it wasn't banned in the first place.
Yeah, they got the Veno, they got the Doom. They seem to have gotten every hero they wanted. Their draft was quite quick. Obviously, we get to watch from a second. Oh, bot lane.
Yeah, March, he's in trouble. He's been blocked off by Boomy, and looks like he will go down. Ben Soy there to secure the kill, but Gabby, he's going to try and go for a bit of a trade. Nice time walk forward. Ben Soy still trying to fight back, but does go down. And now Boomy, he also tried to join in on the fight, but he's also going to go down. Gabby gets himself a double kill. And that's just something you don't want to give to the Void this early on.
Yeah, a Void with pretty much free farm, like we've said so many times before. And the worst part of that is, he gets solo XP. He's level 6 now at 6 minutes. They're going to come back into the lane. He's going to have Chrono up. He already has the Treads and the Wraith Bent. He could probably just solo kill with the AA, potentially giving a bit of help with the Cold Feet.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, he'll just be left alone down at that bot lane. Looks like Ben Soy might make the rotation in. We haven't really seen any rotations out from the Earth Spirit across the map yet, but there it is, Boomy. He shows up at the top lane, trying to use that that Dark Spirit Iron Shell to get in close to KB and get some damage out, but doesn't really get too much off.
Yeah, this is such a hard game for an Earth Spirit. All three of these lanes are impossibly hard to kill the cores. You jump on top of a Veno, you might kill him, but you're definitely dying for it. Like, you go under that tower, Tims throws that arrow, KP gets 2 or 3 Poison Sting plus wards down, you're dying for it. Yeah, you go in the mid lane, it's a Doom with 35 H regen right now. He's pretty much unkillable, especially because he has the Ice Armor to back it off. And then obviously, like we can see, Gabby is incredibly farmed right now.
Yeah. Doom, such a balanced hero of all things, right? Just with that crazy amount of regen, you just can't kill him. And like you said, the bonus armor is going to make it even harder. Still Armel controlling the last hit board himself. He's still at the top, just in front of Gabby right now by about one last hit. Boomy is making a bit of a rotation into the mid lane, but you'd assume he's just there to soak some XP right now. Like, he's probably not going to be able to find any kind of kill, especially considering nobody's there at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Like we just saw, Team Adroit, they've escaped to the jungle. They're going to just farm up here until they get the Necro book. Probably level 1, level 2 would probably when I see it start to go. But it's so hard for them to push right now. They're losing all 3 lanes just slightly. Not enough to be overly concerned that the game's over, but just enough to think, I can't really commit to that 8-9 minute pushing.
Yeah. Tim's also going to show up in that mid lane. Boomy still sticking around. Boomy is going to be committed down the bot lane. It will be on top of the Darkseer, but Boomy is going to TP in, and a nice kick away with the roll into Armel. He's still going to make the chase though with the Scorched Earth, and it looks like it's a guaranteed kill here. Bensoy just unable to get out of there, and Boomy, I mean, he tried his best, but it was really to no avail.
Yeah, honestly, I love that from Boomy though. That was a heads-up play to realize he could kick him away, potentially keep him alive.
Back.
Oh, top lane?
He's going to go for the wolf form, just rushing top. KP obviously realizes he's the target, and that's one thing you can do up against the Lycan, just TP.
Yeah, and now the raid boss is going to come in. Mac has another 5 or 6 seconds left of this charge, so he's going to get away. But he has to bail. That's the first use of Shapeshift. And he gets absolutely nothing but a KP TP, who, by the way, TP to the tier 2, so he's still farming up here. He didn't leave.
No, he did not leave. He'll go back to the jungle and just enjoy himself. And Adroit just going to have to go back to the drawing board and try to figure out some kind of other game plan. But TNC Predator have found themselves 2k net worth ahead at the 9.5 minute mark. We are slowly approaching that point where Adroit, they do need to start making some pressure occur across the map. Speaking of pressure, MCY will probably want to get involved with his team early on the Slark, I assume. Not really one of those position ones where you just sit there and farm all game. And, well, he'll have to watch out for Armel. Doesn't really have the Doom at the moment. Just threaded.
But yeah, this is the sign that QO still knows his stuff despite having not been in the team for a while. He talked about that Rush Shadow Blade. I've looked at MCY's items, and it is Treads, Wraithbend, Wand, Shadow Blade queued up. He's still got it. The man's still very good.
Definitely is bot lane. There is going to be a Chrono expended. It is just onto CML and Bensoy. He's been stunned up. I believe that was Tim's with the arrow connecting on the roll, and Boomy does also go down. So CML, I mean, I thought that was going to be the only kill occurring down for that bot lane, but an arrow from Tim's just connecting perfectly.
Yeah, and now this is getting scary. You can see, obviously, Gabby's building towards that natural Battle Fury pickup. He's not going for the Midas. He understands that he needs to clear these creeps coming in. And if they haven't set up this push, by the time this Battle Fury comes in, you're going to see a blink on Doom. Doom actually on the top lane is going to go for the Slark.
Yeah, Armel got to be slightly cautious, but MCY, he's the one that goes into the Shadow Dance, and he's still burning to the Ice Blast. He just can't survive it. The Scorched Earth Ice Blast was just more than enough to kill him. They don't even need the Doom right now.
Yeah, and you can see already, Adroit realized they need to push something. So they're going to go for the tier 1 bot. But already, you can see what's happening. Gabby's come top, Doom's already up here. This is just going to be a trade, and there's no Fortify coming for Radiant, so they have to commit to this.
Yeah. It's just the standard dance that happens past that 10-minute mark. Just go after the tier 1 towers, secure those, and get a bit more map control for yourselves, as I believe we did catch a bit of a smoke there. Armel and March, they still have the Doom.
I'm not sure what they're going to find, though, because there's only the Earth Spirit. Boomy's in the mid lane, and that's all they're going to find.
For now, they're not even going to find that. Boomy, he'll make his way out. Just having a bit of a surf on his staff. Of course, KP just sticking around that mid lane, ensuring it does continue to stay pushed out. Eventually, Gabby will just take the top tier 1 tower by himself. But bot lane, Tim's could be in a spot of danger. He is being surrounded right now by quite a few heroes from the side of Adroit.
Do they have detection, though? Because he has the Moonlight Shadow up. I don't see any detection on their 3 heroes. So a 3-leap Mirana with Moonlight. I don't know if that's the gank you want to take this far in the game. Or
they're rolling in onto the Mirana. Tim's, he'll be just fine. He didn't even need the leap. He accepted the roll from Boomy and just kind of sat at his tier 2 tower.
Fair enough from Boomy. He does commit to TP. Obviously, we did see the AA come in March. Wanted to save his boy, but you've committed a pos 5 TP. Everyone else is AFK farm. This is so good right now for TNC.
Certainly is. KP going to spot out Boomy again. Great Veno ward placement there from KP on the Veno. Still, they obviously want to try and make a play through this mid-tier 1 tower if they can. Still very, very early on, and it looks like they are going to back off just for a bit.
Yeah, Boomy got caught once again by the ward down.
Oh no, poor old Boomy.
Oh, he's just getting hit by Poison Sting all the way up the lane. They do have to commit for this though. They've brought Chen creeps, they've brought obviously all the units for Max.
Moonlight is going to be popped. They're making their way in slowly, TNC, but they've lost the tier 1 tower. Just no real defense apart from KB being around. I didn't really think they'd want to let that tower go this early on, but I suppose up against the Lycan, you don't really have much of a choice.
Yeah, I mean, 13 minutes in, man, I'd count that as a win that it hasn't fallen already.
Right?
It is a Lycan. He usually gets it around the 7-minute mark.
That is very, very true. Tims looks to make the rotation down onto MCY at the bot lane, but he seems to know something is awry here.
That's a heads-up scan. They just scanned the Doom, who's farming the small camp. Not the hero they were looking for, but they obviously spot out Tims on the rotation as well.
Be a big smoke coming in. Adroit, they pop the wall form again. They know KP's in the mid lane, so they'll go straight after that kill, but he does use the Poison Nova. Now Boomy missing the roll, but gets the boulder smash, and KP is going to go down. TNC unable to really punish here for now. They do bring Gabby in with the Chrono, but he hasn't popped it yet. He'll run in now onto Boomy. Mel just trying to go after the Earth Spirit, and there's your Chrono. It does connect on two, with the wall being dropped, but they do lose Boomy. Can they at least punish TNC? There's a Doom coming out from Armel onto the Slark, but he's just still chasing forward. He doesn't care for the Doom. Gabby, do you turn back around?
This Slark's got to be careful. If he gets jumped on once more, Armel does have the blink if he doesn't get these creeps on top of his head. But yeah, a nice little trade. Kind of favouring Adroit, all things considered, with all these spells being used.
Certainly so. MCY looking to go back in with the Surge, and that's a kind of a ridiculous combination you could run there with the Darkseer Slark. Is just Surge the Slark, and suddenly he's just running at 700 move speed. No problems here.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind them seeing eventually go for the Lycan Axe as well. That Axe Bite gives Slark that shapeshift ability. I don't know if it'll get there because they really want to be able to finish the game before that, but it might be something nice in the late game to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Why?
And while the game's quiet, I just wanted to mention something. KP, we're talking about his ping, his lag issues, the fact he had to tank up in the draft. He's going Crimson Guard first item against all these units. I reckon that's a heads-up play from him. That's why it took so long for MCY to kill him in that charge.
It's the way to play it, right? Like, you're this squishy Veno. You just want to stay alive as long as possible and just spam out wards as much as possible during a team fight. The longer you can survive, the better. And like you said, the Crimson Guard obviously has a lot of value this game up against the side of Adroit. MCY what's he going for here? Is he just rushing the Shadow Blade on the Slark, or perhaps even an MKB? He does just have the Blitz Knuckles there on that Slark.
I think his Courier does have a Shadow Blade on it. It does. So his Courier's coming in, the Shadow Blade is coming. I don't know if you're going to be able to pick anyone though, because you see Tims is the only one really showing anywhere close to MCY. But Max is going to come in.
Yeah, they're going to try and roll, but KP does juke that out. Now Poison Nova and Gale being expended, and he knows they can't cancel the TP. Well, they could have. MCY very, very close, but not quite there. Still Mac, he's going to make the chase.
Mac needs to be careful here. Doom's behind him and he doesn't realize this yet. He's going to pick up March, but it's whether or not he can get out before he gets on top.
Armel going to try. Chase him down with the Scorched Earth. He doesn't have Doom for another 5 seconds, but he also has the net to hold him down. Still, here comes MCY. Getting the pounce off, and will also be dropped. Armel is very low, but he does get the Doom off in time. They got Mac, but Boomy protecting. Chrono almost there, but not quite yet. Boomy got to be very, very cautious about this with Ben Soy, but they are just dancing around the side of TNC, going back in with the Magnetize being refreshed. Now in comes CML. Tim still just leaping away, and now a TP in from March. They're just baiting perhaps. Where is this Void? Not there quite yet. Tims, he does go down, and now March maybe regretting the TP in, but no, here comes Gabby with the 3-man Chrono, and the Ice Blaster fly in with the poison damage from KB, but they are healing up. They don't care. Or maybe Boomy does. He does end up going down, but now CML also to go, and these bashes coming out from Gabby. He gets MCY, but they could not finish off the final Darkseid in the team fight, but it is still a 1-for-3 trade. You can't be unhappy about that one.
Yeah, it does make it a bit better that obviously March and Armel died previously, but that overextension made that trade 3-for-1. Tim's dying. That is a huge pickup for TNC after a really lost fight. The Doom was committed. The Chrono obviously had to bail out. Moonlight was committed as well. I think TNC got lucky there to get that trade.
It's a nice trade nonetheless. They'll just get back to the drawing board, just keep farming up. They understand if they go past a certain time up against this draft, they should have the advantage. We are approaching that time as it goes on. We're at the 18-minute mark, a 6k net worth lead now for TNC. Of course, they are sitting 11-5 at the moment, and well, Gabby, he's just well and truly ahead in terms of net worth, sitting at 11.5k on this Faceless Void, and already has the Manta up with the Battle Fury. They're Adroit. They're going to try for the Roshan play. Can they do it quick enough?
I did see the scan go off, so TNC Predator, they know it's coming. KP's going to start being the nuisance that is Venomancer and throw wards down. But I don't know if you want to fight this. Mac's going to come out and charge someone very quickly. March doesn't want to be seen here.
They don't have the Chrono either on Gabby. It's a very hard team fight. They'll start with the Ice Blast. MCY will juke that out, but there's the Poison Nova. Roshan's so darn low at the moment. They're going to rush back in. Mac, this is going to be a real fight over this Roshan. That Aegis is going to be susceptible. Gabby, he does jump in and he does swipe the Aegis away from the side of Adroit, and now it's all kinds of chaos. But it's Adroit that are the ones losing lives here. TNC, they are destroying this Dire side. They are just unable to fight back at the moment. Ben Soy just trying to surge himself out of there. Tim's trying for the arrow, doesn't quite land it. And Boomy should be just safe, but well, you just gave an Aegis away and you just lost 3 heroes. It is not looking too pretty for the side of Adroit Esports.
You know it's a bad fight when the only benefit I can say for Adroit, they got the last hit on Roshan.
Well,
they got that bit of gold, but they threw it all out the window when they died in the fight after. Just a heads-up play there coming from KP. He sets up the fight so well by splitting them with the Poison Nova. There's nothing you can do because half your team is taking that damage over time. The other half isn't sure whether they want to commit.
Adroit, they've got to be a bit more disciplined here with these Roshan plays, and TNC, of course, now just understand. Again, they can relax. They've got an Aegis. They might want to make some use of it, and we'll see the Roshan play now. Of course, the Vac, rather the wall was dropped, and it was really Gabby just time walking at the perfect moment to go after that Roshan and the Aegis, and you don't get the last him, the Roshan, but who cares? You got the main thing you wanted. Of course, after that, it was just so easy to just chase him down.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's actually the window that Adroit needed. If they don't get that Roche, which obviously happened in the end, now they can't push tier 2s because Gabby can just suicide into the next fight. And it's so hard to kill a Void twice, especially when he has that Manta like you said. He's getting up towards level 20 already as well. He's going to have that attack speed or that time walk cooldown, both of which will do wonders in this game.
It's going to be a real problem for Adroit. But what would you do right now, Poglet? Like, if you're in this game right now, you're leading Adroit, what's the game plan now? Because it's not looking too great for them, and they're going to need a way back in. In fact, hold that thought, because we do have a smoke from TNC.
I was about to say, their gameplay is hope TNC overextend and throw, to be honest.
Might be that one time.
The only pickup they can get is KP, who's farming lanes, but everyone else, like you said, smoked up. Gabby's ready with the Chrono as well. This is a 3-man Chrono waiting to happen.
They're all grouped up. Armel, he jumps in with the Doom, and now the Chrono does come out, connecting on 2 with the Ice Blast follow-up, and they just cannot sustain themselves. They've lost the Lycan and the Darkseid. Now Armel just chasing down CML. CML will not survive, and perhaps not even Boomy. He tried to kick away the Void, and he does just get slammed by Armel on the way out.
Yeah. Armel clowned him there. He even had time to hold, hit him with the Infernal Blade as he goes for the rollout. TNC are just feeling themselves, man. There's nothing else to say. This has been close to a perfect game for TNC Predator.
I'd say so. No mistakes really being made here by TNC, and with a 13k net worth lead, they are well and truly on their way to pulling off the first game victory. And I mean, that's just unfortunate. You even look at the courier that just went down, MCY, ends up getting the courier, or rather getting his courier killed off with the ultimate orb, and just hurts.
I'm not even sure Scardy was the item to save him, but he needed those stats. That 200 extra health, the 10 extra damage coming in with the Agi, and the attack speed, obviously. He's going to have to live without it, though, because I don't see TNC stopping. They're going to take this tier 2. They're going to reset the fight. Obviously, they've got another minute on the Roshan, I believe. 90 seconds. So it's a really awkward window for Adroit right now.
It certainly is. Arrow out from Tim's. Not going to land, but it's just a nice scouting arrow as Adroit. They have smoked up right behind Boomy.
And Armel doesn't
but
care.
Armel, he just jumps in straight onto the Earth Spirit. Ice Blast. He's going to land. They still want to try though. MCY, look at that Surge Slark. Just rushing forward into 4 heroes. He does not care. With that Shadow Dance available, he feels confident. But there's the Poison Nova out from KB. Does that dissuade them? Not quite, but here comes Gabby jumping into the backline straight after CML, and now he also gets Boomy down. These poor supports just cannot sustain themselves. Even Ben Soy getting caught up in the team fight. A triple kill out for Gabby, and there's the GG call.
Yeah,
they just called it.
Yeah, I think they saw the axe on Faceless Void there. They realized we can't even push strat them because they're going to get all of their creeps destroyed at once. And it's just too hard of a game. 23 minutes in,